welcome to the show. Have I told you lately how much I love doing this show, the Ann Harder Show, because I get to talk to artists. And I have just had such a delightful time meeting everything from sculptors to watercolor specialists to you name it, wonderful artists. And so today is no exception. Glad to have Susan Sistrunk back on the show. You've been on before.
Hello
And we've
again.
talked about everything from embellishing hats. I mean, all kinds of fun stuff. And getting to meet Kurt Ritterpusch, who is the new president of the board for the Professional Artists of Central Texas. So, PAXCT for
Yes,
short.
ma'am.
Glad to have you here today. You've got a really exciting event coming up. It's going to be a whole exhibit for several weeks. So first of all, let's talk about that. And this will be happening in Temple at the Cultural Activities Center. Who wants to start?
Well, we have our membership. We have about 4 to 5 shows per year, and this show is the one that begins 2026. Each member is allowed to have 4 pieces in the show, be it 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional works, and we're going to fill the space. We have 18 members. We have 3 new members. We had 15 members coming into the new year. We've added 3 new members. So we're very excited to see the new work of these new members in our show.
Well, it's exciting to know that there is a professional organization for artists. That was kind of news to me. Tell me about, Susan, about how you got involved with the professional artists.
It was a few years ago, and I was searching for an organization that was really looking to hold artists to a standard, you know, how you frame, how you exhibit your work, and also, you know, technique-wise, that made me kind of challenge myself to hold myself to a higher standard of creating art. And Professional Artists of Central Texas exhibited in my gallery when I had a gallery on Washington
I
Avenue.
remember going there many times. Yeah.
And it became a really good fit, and we're very fortunate to have that organization and see it grow. And foster so much creativity and see our new members come in. And it's such a dichotomy of different artists with all different styles and all different media. And to see it as a collective in one space, it's really an exciting thing.
So what's the criterion for being a member of this? I know that, for example, the Watercolor Society, it's just people that like to do, they gather and they meet and, you know, some sell things and some don't, you know. Right. So how does this work?
Well, in July and August, we open to new members. And the new members have to show that they have professional presence. They have to have an online presence. They have to have a way to show their work or to display their work that we can see that they're making money and that they're making progress toward being a professional artist and selling their work. It may take, I mean, you may be an excellent artist, but you don't have a professional presence.
Kind of a platform online, social media tends to help that they're, you know, being active in their community.
Yeah, it's interesting how all that kind of aspect of marketing is pretty recent, though. And I presume you both have been artists before all the Facebook and everything. Huh?
It's a different world now because I don't know about you, Kurt, but I feel like artists are so much more responsible for their own promotion now, whereas even 10, 15 years ago, it was strictly relying on gallery representation and someone like an agent actually representing you. Now I feel like it's more switched towards artists really getting into the trenches and doing some of their own representation. They have to really, you know, get their hands dirty a little bit.
And by doing that, getting out into the public, I'm not just a studio painter, I'm also a plein air artist. So I go to plein air organized events with.
So what does that mean? Define that word.
Plein air is just a fancy French term for outside.
Okay.
So
you see the artists with their little beret on and their easel and
they're painting outside. Right. So, you know, the term of art is plein air.
Okay.
But the those events draw artists from all across the country, and Texas has a couple that are national, draw national level talent to them.
I would think. Just because of our options for locations.
Because our great weather, our great
Yeah.
view, how beautiful Texas is.
Yeah.
And so that was my entry into the professional
What was the
arts.
first one you went to?
The first one that I went, the first plein air I was in was Kerrville with the Outdoor Painter Society
Yeah.
4 years ago
Yeah.
or 3 years ago.
You know Carol Arnold?
I do not.
Okay, she's a pastel artist. Very big in Kerrville. Yeah, yeah.
We may have bumped into
Yeah,
her.
you might have, yeah. I know a lot of artists.
I have no doubt.
I can't draw a stick figure with a pencil, but yeah, no.
Kerrville, and then
Oh, yeah,
we
beautiful.
have some. There's several across the state. There's one in Marble Falls, which draws a lot of artists.
I know
Those
there's-
That'll
beautiful
be in
lake
April.
views, pretty lake
That'll
views
be in
there.
April.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's another one down by the coast.
There's one in Galveston.
yeah.
The plein
I
air
would-
Southwest is in
Yeah.
Galveston. That's the first week of May. So
I would think Big Bend area would be.
I love to paint outdoors in the Big Bend.
Yeah.
And I did some plein air or painting outdoors when I was just on vacation out in the Panhandle, of all places. I went to Polidoro Canyon for the first time. So, yeah, it's, I always, people like Kurt and Melanie who paint, Melanie Stokes, they paint outdoors all the time. I have such an appreciation for them when I'm trying to paint outdoors because I don't have the patience for all the sand in my paint. And they do.
Oh, I guess that, there are some issues like little bugs landing in your oil.
yeah, there is that.
Okay, impactful. Let's talk about that. This title of the show that's coming up. Again, this will be January 16th through February 27th at the Cultural Arts Activities Center, Cultural Activities Center in Temple. Impactful with the name of your organization in the middle. That's very good.
We were thinking, we tried to put together ideas for each of the shows that we can bring the character of the artist out and display it in the work, but also have some mind about what would people like to see. And, we are impactful in the images that we create and bring to people's views.
So how did this show come together? I mean, and you mentioned your 18 artists.
18 artists strong, and I think that the name really came from the fact that our numbers are growing and we're becoming such an impactful organization. We're becoming an organization where artists are holding themselves to a standard to, am I at the point where I can be a part of Professional Artists of Central Texas? We're becoming a more impactful organization, and together we're so much stronger than one artist is by themselves. We're becoming impactful.
Why the Temple location?
We have a committee, 3 or 4 members that go out and look for openings. And really,
Because you need a lot of space.
First off, we're just looking for openings.
Right.
And we seek every place that will show our work and look far enough out in the calendar. And we're scheduling out into 27 already.
Are you? Yeah.
So this year's calendar, we've got 4 events laid out, and that legwork was done all last year. So
Okay.
moving into this year, again, our search committee goes out and looks for locations that will hold the number of artists that we have. And we have one that we're still developing for the end of the year, which will be our 10-year anniversary show.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to, and this is where we've already talked about it amongst the members, we like to invite past members, people who were alumnus of our group, if you will, to participate in that show with us as we've done a 10-year where we've come in 10 years.
So I guess some artists, they're just not as active creating art, and so
But
that's why they fall away, or what?
Yeah, well, sometimes artists don't really want to be part of a group. Sometimes they work better,
Yeah.
and they're more comfortable working on their own, or they just go a different path, or they move away. That all those things can happen. But as to why the temple location, you've been to the CAC and
Oh,
you've
yes.
seen their walls. They have beautiful wall space.
It's wonderful,
So,
yeah.
it's got the room that we need, and it's just got a great location. It's right off of I-35.
Very easy to get to.
So it's a good central location also for our artists, because as we grow, Kurt is in Belton. I'm in outside of Copper's Cove now. We have, let's see, Judy is still in Waco, but Melanie is out
She's in Mart.
Mart.
Okay, yeah.
And Charles Wallace lives
Yeah.
all the way in College Station. So
Oh, does he? Yeah.
we're really kind of branching out,
Mm-hmm.
and so Temple's a really good central location for everybody to kind of get
Mm-hmm.
together and meet in one place, and it's very convenient for anyone traveling up and down the I-35 corridor.
Yeah, I've had Charles Wallace on the show before. Yeah, yeah, I do know a lot of artists. Well, and you have a wonderful kickoff event, though. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's happening on January 16th, correct?
Right. That'll be our opening for the show.
Uh-huh.
So
Is it 5 p.m.?
5 p.m. at the Cultural Activity Center.
Yeah, I know. I
I
want to
have-
put arts in
well,
there.
Well, and I have a military background, so I turned every acronym into a word. So I get a wagged finger. Don't call us the CAC.
Yeah, he called me earlier and he said, okay, we're meeting there at such and such time, and I'm like, okay, it's not military time. We're going to
That's right.
We're going to
1,700 hours.
I know. It's been 5 years.
That's all right. That's good. I mean, and I think it's wonderful that that you're doing this. How can one? Is it like a ticketed event? How do we?
Nope, it's
Come.
free admission, and anyone can come. It's open to all ages, so it's very family friendly, and there will be refreshments available, and it's a great time to meet the artists also. If you see a piece of work online and you are like, wait, I've kind of seen that person's work a lot, but I want to put a face to a name, it's a great opportunity for you to meet the artist, because we'll know tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure that just about every artist will be in attendance at the
Sure.
opening. So it's a good idea. Even if you're someone who's interested in joining PAXCT, perhaps, it's a good idea to meet the artists and figure out what
See what an event is like. Yeah.
that looks like.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we need to take a break, but when we come back, I do want to talk about your art. This is something, Kurt, that
Thank
you did, and so much more I want to learn about PAXCT, the professional artists. Anyway, stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Today's show is brought to you by the Heart of Texas Home Builders Association. Don't miss this year's Home Products Show. It's January 31st and February 1st at the base at the Extraco Event Center. You'll see everything from home construction to remodeling, start to finish. Tickets are $5 at the door. I'll see you there.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct. I let in the sun rays. More of the heat stays. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, buy one window, get the next one free, plus no interest and no payments for 24 months.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
It's time to start something new at Allen Samuels. Drive in with huge savings on all of our Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. From a trail-conquering Jeep Grand Cherokee, towing in style with a Ram Heavy Duty, or cruising the city in a sporty and luxurious Ram 1500, we've got the perfect ride for you. Stop by Allen Samuels in Waco, where we make car buying easy.
Come by, let's be friends.
And we are back with professional Central Texas member Susan Sistrunk and Kurt. I love your last name. It is, if I can find it, Ritterpusch.
Ritterpusch.
Ritterpusch. Oh, so the S in there?
There's no.
Oh, okay.
There's
So
two S's. It's there only one S.
Okay.
SCH.
It's German, huh?
It is. It is.
Very, very good. Well, you are a fabulous artist. First of all, thank you for our service to the military.
Oh,
you mentioned being a veteran.
You were worth it.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. And tell me about your painting. First, let's start.
Well, this painting is the windmills of West Texas, and we sent a son to college in Colorado, University of Colorado Boulder, and we would drive up to go see him.
Yeah.
And I said, this is impossible. I cannot fail to capture one of those windmills or several. And we got right close, and I made several sketches, and just knew that I was going to get home and paint this. So this was a studio work, not a plein air work. But when we talk about how it fits into the impactful, the geography of Texas has changed with the appearance of these windmills. You know where you are in the state based on the appearance of windmills. Windmills toward western Texas and solar farms toward Austin. You're going to start seeing these things, and they have an impact in our lives in lots of ways.
Yeah, I was telling Kurt when we saw each other outside, and I saw that he had that painting. I just drove past Sweetwater, and you can't drive through Sweetwater area without seeing windmills everywhere. And it was like, wait a minute, I was just there yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So is this Sweetwater? Where did you say this was?
That's almost Abilene.
Oh, almost Abilene. Yeah, we just came back from Oklahoma City, and in Oklahoma there's a kind of a ridge, and just hundreds of them. So they have certainly changed, like you say, the topography.
Yeah, well, they certainly do change what we see. The vista that used to be wide open really is very different.
Okay, so you said you took a picture. And
Well, I
you
did
made
sketches. I said sketches on the roadside, and then several photos, and then I worked on this probably about 2 weeks, off and on for 2 weeks. But I think about 3 things on easels at that time. So
And it is oil, right?
it is oil.
Yeah. Is that your preferred medium?
It is. It is. I studied painting in college.
Did you?
Yeah, I have an art degree, and which was an odd fit for the Army, but.
I was going to say, did they put that to
I
use?
kept that.
Kinda
I
quiet?
put it to use. I put my ability to look at things differently from other people into good use. But yeah, I kept that kind of quiet. I didn't need that to be, how do my slides look? Yes, sir, your slides look great.
But you've been painting all along?
I did
you kind of
sketches.
put it away for a while
I
and then
did.
come back
I
to it?
did. Yeah, I had about a 15-year break where I was just absolutely too busy.
Right.
But yeah, I sketched and did things. I've got a sketchbook of sketches from Iraq, and I've got a sketchbook of sketches from Afghanistan.
Okay. So have those become paintings?
One of the paintings from Iraq has become a painting. I don't tend to steer into that lane.
Really?
I'm in some veterans groups that they spend a great deal of their time working through the catharsis of their memories. I don't want to memorialize all those things quite yet.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Because I do want to talk to you from the standpoint of what creating art means to you personally. Susan, I think we've talked about this before.
We have, but it does change, though. It does change what it means, because for a long time, I feel like I was so focused on it being for income, I think, mainly. And so that led me to paint a lot and possibly not paint the best, because I was painting, just trying to churn things out. You know?
Just have product.
Have product,
Yeah.
so I could sell the product. And now when I paint, it's more for me. I don't worry so much about. It's nice to sell a painting and have it go to a good home and, you know, somewhere it really needs to be. But that's not at the forefront of why I paint anymore. So what art means to you, really, well, I've always loved painting and I always loved producing art. My love of painting has matured, I feel, over the last few years into something that I just have a deeper appreciation of the process and the creative thinking that goes into it and the self-critique that goes into it, and not downing myself if one painting out of 4 is like, well, I'm going to definitely paint over that canvas now. You know, because that happens. I think I just appreciate the process more.
Yeah.
And it's almost a letdown when I'm done with the painting now, because I've enjoyed the process so much that I'm almost sad to see the painting finished. Does that make sense?
How do you know when it's finished?
When it's not on your wall anymore.
It's off the easel.
Some artists never know. There's a feeling where you just said, I can't work on this anymore. Because there is a spot where you can work on something too much.
I would think that, less is more.
And I certainly don't want to become Edward Monk and treat my paintings like children. I've got an art history background as well, so we can talk about art and talk about these techniques and changes of the way people think about the aesthetic of art. I'm very much appreciate the aesthetic and the feeling that you get about the beauty of life and the world around us all the time. Texas, what an unbelievable backdrop.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Are you a native Texan?
I am not. I went to 4 different high schools.
Military family?
Military family, but I went to American University in Washington, D.C., hated there. And, of course, my parents told me I could go to any art school I wanted as long as I could pay for it. And I did. I paid for it. I had a wrestling scholarship and paid for it. So my parents didn't have to pay a dime.
Wow. Yeah. So, Susan, let's talk about your work. You've been creating. I know you said you were in the Panhandle. I love following you on Facebook. I see where all you've gone.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep a lot. It's funny because I used to post my paintings all the time. I would post my paintings on Facebook. Whenever I created something, it automatically went on Facebook. And I've changed that a little bit over the past year. I've held things a little more reserved. I do still share some things, but the show we have coming up actually has some works that I have 3 pieces in it, and some of them have not been seen before because I just kind of kept them just kind of off to the side and not I don't know. Like Kurt said, you know, you can tend to overwork a painting. You can also overwork sharing sometimes, I think. You can share too much, I think, and it takes away the magic when you have an exhibition if everyone's seen everything
Oh, I've seen that.
already.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like if you, instead of having a 2-minute trailer to a movie, you have a 30-minute trailer to a movie.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
what's
guess
the point in going to the movie
the
theater?
mystery is
you know, the
gone.
mystery's
Right,
gone.
there you
so like I said, my work's changed a little bit. My attitude towards my work has changed a little bit, and I'm really excited for this show because I think that everybody in PAXCT is kind of holding a little bit something back maybe for this show.
Okay.
Because I've been kind of nosy on Facebook and I've been looking at everybody's page trying to figure out what people are going to have in it. And I guess I don't find out until we deliver the artwork.
There we go. Yeah, the great reveal. What about you, Kurt? I mean, is this piece going to be?
This is
in it?
piece is
Okay.
going to be in the show, and I have 2 other pieces that have shown elsewhere, but when they come together, the 3 pieces together will really, well, people haven't seen some of the pieces for at least 2 years, so.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I really like, again, Texas as a backdrop, so if that's a cue to something I've painted.
Texas, it's like everywhere you look, there's something new to paint. Everywhere. Like when I was in the Panhandle and Polidoro Canyon. You're driving through absolute
beautiful.
nothingness. It's completely flat, and then suddenly the ground just drops out from beneath you.
That's right. Oh, my goodness.
And so, yeah, it's just like everywhere you look, there's something new to paint in this state. And how can you not love that?
Oh, yeah.
I could have 30 paintings of silos. I'm attracted to the industrial look, how it meshes against the wilderness. I'm attracted to it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I want to pigeonhole myself as hey, there's that silo guy.
Right, and I guess that could happen. This exhibit is emphasizing impact, emotional, cultural, social. So how do you hope the viewers are going to respond and when they walk through this exhibit?
I hope they have a great understanding of the different viewpoints of all the artists have of our environment that we all live in, because most of the art is, you know, it's about where we live and where we see the world from our different viewpoints. And so hopefully people who walk through are able to gain an understanding of what each artist sees from maybe. And just like Kurt's windmill, how that's changed the topography forever of West Texas, maybe open the eyes a little bit instead of just, oh, well, there's the windmills again.
Yeah.
Next time you drive
Kind of a
through West-
jarring thing to see it.
there's the windmills again, instead of thinking that way. But, oh, well, I hadn't thought about the impact that the windmills have on that land, or the farmer who's leasing the property for the windmills, how that impacted their life, maybe saved their farm from being lost.
Right.
Yeah, that's a thought too.
Yeah, that is a thought.
There's so many different ways that you could look at a painting and interpret it. So hopefully when people walk through the halls of the CAC, they just get a greater understanding of where the artists are coming from when they paint, and not just think, oh, well, that's a pretty picture. There's a story behind all of them.
And the opportunity to come meet the artist on the 16th will allow you insight, not just from a aesthetic viewpoint. So you'll be able to get the backstory from the artist, talk about why they painted it and when they painted it and what they were trying to do. Other shows may have an artist statement next to the work. In this case, it's just the work and the title. So coming to see the artist and meet the artist and talk to them about the work will give the work even more provenance, if you will.
Yeah, and will all of the work be on sale, for sale?
It's all, well, I don't think that there are any not for sale.
I don't think there's
Well, I
anything
don't know.
not
We
for
haven't
sale.
looked at
Okay.
I haven't looked at the catalog yet.
Right. What is it you think art can do, though, from uniquely, that other forms of communication maybe can't?
I'd like to answer that because I think that, like handwritten letters and hand-done art, it is a piece of that artist, the energy, and you can interact with it perfectly, like a handwritten letter. I mean, I would much rather receive a handwritten letter than an email. And my my inbox says that.
I think that, if I could jump in on that also, I think in this age of AI, artificial intelligence, where we see computer-produced artwork and computer-produced music, and this is something I feel very strongly about, that the human element, when it comes to painting or sculpting or music or whatever your art form is what gives it life. The lot these days is that connection. And it's one of the reasons why I love going to fairs and rodeos and festivals and setting up and talking to people. And I'm sure Kurt does as well, because there's that human connection where it's not an email, it's not a text message, it's a living, breathing human being you're having a conversation with, like we are right now. And I feel like people want that more now than ever. And we need to remember that we have to work for that. It doesn't come easy to be around people, because people are hard to be around.
They can be.
But that's what gives art life, is the human element.
Yeah. What advice do you have for maybe an emerging artist in Central Texas who wants to become more involved?
Well, first off, paint or draw every day. Once a week won't do it. One of the ways to become a better artist is to paint and draw every day. That's a good step. And then be critical of your own work. Keep working and work and work and work and work some more. And then start to publish. Find a place online, get a website or even your Facebook presence, and start putting your work there. And then don't give your artwork away.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you go about pricing?
It's one of the most challenging parts,
I bet.
I think,
it's not by the inch, I've been told, by an artist.
It depends on which artist you're talking to.
It might be by the inch, who knows?
When I'm drawing, it's definitely by the inch. Definitely by the inch. When I'm doing a pencil drawing with graphite, and it's going to take me 3 weeks of doing this,
oh
in
gosh,
a very crimped, it's definitely by the inch. It's so challenging for a lot of new artists, I think, because it's something we love doing. There's a misconception that somehow it should be free. I'm not sure who came up with that idea.
There's a lot of people undervalue when they come up and they say, well, and you say it's.
But I always tell new artists that doctors get paid, lawyers get paid, so electricians get paid, plumbers get paid, so artists can get paid. I never heard a plumber say, yeah, I'll do that for free.
No.
Especially on a Sunday morning.
Okay, so this impactful event is kicking off January 16th. It runs through February 27th, so a good long period of time for you to go and check out the art.
Absolutely.
So what do you hope folks leave with when they leave that gallery?
One of our paintings.
I was hoping I kind of set you up for that, didn't I?
Yes, we would like to see plenty of red dots.
And more information about the exhibition can be found online at PAXCT.org. I want to say .com every time. It's not .com, it's .org.
.org, okay. And if maybe there's an artist who's thinking, oh, I could benefit from being a part of this group, same place?
Absolutely.
To find that information?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you guys are wonderful. I just love talking about art and hearing from artists and seeing their fabulous work.
Well, we hope we see you at this opening.
I would love to try to be there for sure. It's going to be great. It's in Temple at the Cultural Activity Center right there off I-35.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, and it starts again at 5 p.m.?
5 p.m.
Does.
Okay, very good. Thank you both so much.
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. In fact, when we come back, we will be hearing from Sid West, who is going to tell us about the wonderful project Wreaths for Vets. Stay with us.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Today's show is brought to you by the Heart of Texas Home Builders Association. Don't miss this year's Home Products Show. It's January 31st and February 1st at the base at the Extraco Event Center. You'll see everything from home construction to remodeling start to. Tickets are $5 at the door. I'll see you there.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal windows. Direct. I let in the sun rays. More of the heat stays. Universal windows. Direct.
Right now, buy one window, get the next one free, plus no interest and no payments for 24 months.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
It's time to start something new at Allen Samuels. Drive in with huge savings on all of our Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. From a trail-conquering Jeep Grand Cherokee, towing in style with a Ram Heavy Duty, or cruising the city in a sporty and luxurious Ram 1500, we've got the perfect ride for you. Stop by Allen Samuels in Waco, where we make car buying easy.
Come by, let's be friends.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
Join the Women of Waco for Level Up 2026, which is an exciting event at the AC Hotel Waco downtown on January 30th. Get ready to network, learn, and have a great time with like-minded individuals, all starting at 9:30 a.m. This is your chance to take your skills to the next level and connect with industry experts. So don't miss out on this opportunity to grow and level up through connection, growth, and impact in 2026. Residents have had several chances this week to make their voices heard about data center projects moving forward in McLennan and Bosque counties. Ross City Council, which represents a community of 245 residents, will discuss ways for dealing with the proposed Lacey Lakeview Data Center tonight at Ross City Hall starting at 7 p.m. Lacey Lakeview is attempting to annex 520 acres of land into its city limits for data center development. But area residents opposing the data center routinely meet at the Ross Volunteer Fire Department directly across from Ross City Hall. Tonight is the chance to share your thoughts and listen in on some other perspectives. I'm Elizabeth Riley with Act Locally Waco. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter to find out more happening around us.
And welcome back to the show. You know, we're talking today about remembrance. We're talking about gratitude and service with Sid West. A delight to have you here, a local leader in Wreaths for Vets. This is an amazing project that does just that. It remembers with gratitude our wonderful military servants. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, Sid, we met at the Giving Machine thing before Christmas, that you were one of the beneficiary agencies of the Giving Machine. And so how did that all go for you?
It was a neat project. We had volunteers that came from the Bell County area to work several shifts, and it was so fun to see whole families come from throughout Central Texas, from as far away as the Dallas area or from as far south as Austin, to go to the Giving Machine to choose one of the 7 charities. And there was a way that someone could choose all of the charities, and we had a few that chose to give to all of the charities, a very generous gift. And it was we don't yet know what the financial implications are, but the opportunity to participate and to see how it was done, it was just a really wonderful holiday experience, and it was wonderful to be included. We appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, and a great way to bring awareness of,
Yes.
what you're doing. I was delighted to get to meet you at the kickoff event for the Giving Machine. And because I think it's so important what Wreaths for Vets does. First of all, let's clear up. There's this part of Wreaths Across America.
It is not a part of Wreaths Across America. And while we are affectionately known as Wreaths for Vets, and we have an official assumed name filed that way, the name of our organization is Friends of the Central Texas State Veterans Cemetery. But since that's a huge mouthful,
That's a big one.
we go by Wreaths for Vets. And mainly the difference in us and Wreaths Across America is that unless the family pays for a wreath, they don't get an individual wreath from Wreaths Across America. The money that's largely raised by them nationwide goes to Arlington National Cemetery or some of the national cemeteries throughout the United States. And we never ask families for a donation to put a wreath on their loved one's grave at the Central Texas Veterans Cemetery. We raise the money. Every interment, whether it's in the wall or in the ground, gets a wreath at no cost to the family. Now, we have lots of families and community members who donate, but we don't say it's going to cost $17 if you want a
to
wreath.
have a wreath, yeah.
But we kind of came out of Wreaths Across America accidentally. Jean Shine, our founder, was invited to come to a Wreaths Across America ceremony on December the 15th of 2006, when our cemetery was very new. And she went thinking that when she left, it was going to look like Arlington with a
Wreaths
wreath
everywhere,
on every
yeah.
grave. Well, they brought 6 wreaths, one for every branch of the service. At that time, we didn't have Space Force, and one for POWs. And so it was a very nice cemetery, and they set up their 6 beautiful wreaths, and the ceremony was over. And she thought, this can't be. This is not what I expected. This is not what I want for our community. And being a local real estate agent, she had access to a truck, and she hopped in her moving truck and started going around town. She tried local places first, but on December 15th, you might imagine that nobody had 400 identical wreaths in Killeen, Texas.
Right.
So she went to Garden Ridge in Round Rock, where she had called ahead, and they said, we think we do. And she said, I need 386. And they said, okay, we'll start looking for them. And by the time she got there, they had a few piled up, and they were all over the store on display, and not not on one neat aisle were 400 wreaths displayed. And so not only did the workers in the store, but the patrons, the people who were shopping, started helping and throwing them into baskets. And in a couple of hours, she had her 400 wreaths loaded into the truck, paid with her private credit card, and headed back to Killeen. On the way, she was calling all the Walmarts in the area about where do we get red bows. She called H-E-B, Walmart, Target, any of those stores. Does anybody have 400 red bows? And between several Walmart stores in their district, they were able to round those up for her. And so on that was on a Friday, probably on Sunday, she gathered her staff and her family and some close friends on the steps of their office at the Extraco Bank building. And we put sawhorses together with 2x4s between them and strung the wreaths on and fluffed them up and put bows on and got them out to the cemetery. And what we had neglected to do was ask permission from the Texas Veterans Commission. Was that okay? We thought we were doing a big favor. And when they rolled in on Monday morning, they were a little bit surprised that the elves had been there and had put
decorated
wreaths
all
down.
the graves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we had to get some very quick permission from
my
the
goodness.
Texas Land Commissioner, who was
Wow.
very nice to us. And
Well, that's good.
donations started rolling in to try to help reimburse her for what she had done. And that it's just been a grassroots effort since then.
What an amazing story. I love that. I love that. How did you personally become involved?
Well, Gina's my sister-in-law.
I knew Shine is your
She is
middle
my
name.
yes.
You're right.
She is my relative.
Okay.
We work together. We're related. She's been my sister-in-law since I was 7, so really she's my sister. And if there's a project to be done, I'm generally enlisted.
Yeah.
And because I'm a banker, I'm almost always the treasurer. So I got started, keeping the money and helping to raise the money. And when it's your family and close friends, you can boss them around pretty easily. And so we just all work really well together.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about the most recent event, of course. So when was the wreath laying there at the Texas
The
Veterans
wreath
Cemetery?
laying was on the 29th. It is always on the Saturday after Thanksgiving at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And of course, we don't know what day that's going to be every year, but we know that it will be on the Saturday after Thanksgiving at 10 o'clock at the cemetery. And it's always amazing to us how many volunteers show up. This year it was rainy and windy, and probably 6,000 people came out to help. We put down about 17,500 wreaths between the cemetery grounds and the columbarium. And we have a member of our committee who specially hand makes the wreaths, the mini wreaths that go on the columbarium that will stay on. And they look like a perfect rendition of the large wreaths, just tiny. They don't damage the columbarium, but they stay secure. And she's had the opportunity to go around the state and the nation to show other veteran cemeteries that have similarly designed columbariums how to make that work. And of course, the 29th this year wouldn't be possible if the Saturday before, a lot of volunteers don't gather at the Killeen Special Events Center to prepare the wreaths. We try to reuse them as many years as we can.
I wondered if you were able to reuse them.
You can't tell unless they're side by side which one's 3 years old and which one's 3 weeks old.
Okay.
But they do change color in the Texas sun. And you would think that a cloudy, rainy season would be worse on them, but a sunny, windy season is really the worst.
Yeah.
It fades them and it tatters them, but we try to use them for as many seasons as possible. The bows are not recyclable. We have to throw those away every year. They look pretty bad after they've been out there 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And so they go in the trash, and we rebuy bows to the tune of about $10,000 or $11,000 every year. But we don't have to replace wreaths every single year.
That's good. What does it mean to you, though, when you see the array of wreaths on those graves?
Well, it is an absolutely beautiful experience. It's a pretty cemetery anyway. I don't know how the people who designed those choose the locations, but it's on enough of an elevation that you can see it coming both ways down 195. And the wind always blows just a little bit out there. And it's pretty, even if it's not decorated with wreaths. But I always try to take a before and after picture. I want people to see what it looks like before the wreaths are laid and after. And it is just, it's lovely, and it looks like people love that cemetery when it happens. They're so uniform, you know, the green wreath with the red bow at the top, you know, just a universal symbol of the holiday season. Of course, there are people from all faiths who are in the cemetery, but we don't differentiate. Everyone gets a round evergreen wreath with the red bow at the top, and it's just pretty, and it shows you how much the people of Central Texas from many counties, it serves from Austin to Dallas, from Abilene to Tyler. It's a big part of the country, those veterans, and obviously was badly needed in our area. I mean, we're a haven for veterans because of the large military post, but our cemetery grows, sadly, at about 100 interments a month. So every year we have 1,200 new wreaths to either make for the columbarium or to put down in the cemetery. We try to pre-buy as often as we can, and you can imagine that just like every other industry that imports, we are hit by trucking expenses and tariffs. This year for the first time was kind of a surprise. And you know, our wreaths have gone from costing a few dollars to costing many dollars, you know, over $10 a piece. And, you know, by the time you store them and insure them and buy a bow for it and whatever, we can't really put a price on what each wreath costs. But the community is very generous with their donations. We don't have any paid staff, no overhead. Everything comes directly from volunteers, donations, donated office space, just because everybody loves our veterans and their families. And, you know, we realize that, you know, yes, veterans serve, but so do their families.
Oh, no question about it. Was there a moment maybe that stands out to you from this last event? Maybe a story or a family or even a volunteer?
Well, there are always families there who their dirt is still fresh and they haven't been directly involved in many cases with the Veterans Cemetery until they had a loved one resting there. And so they've come for the first time. And where I get to talk to them most is generally at the prep. It's a little bit quieter, and I can, you know, people are gathered at tables preparing the wreaths, and I get to go around and visit with them, do a little bit of quality control. And there's always someone who's new, and I don't always know their names, but it's very moving because it's new to them. And then we see them year after year after year. And so I would say it's always the fresh graves that stand out to me. But just what's mostly moving to me is how many people are willing to break from their family being in town or coming back from being out of town or their
Thanksgiving weekend,
big shopping experience or whatever they do after Thanksgiving ball games, and just come no matter the weather and volunteer to help put down the wreaths. And, you know, we have a brief ceremony, and we generally have speakers from the Post, and this year we had one of the speakers was Major General Rodney Cox, who is the British liaison to 3 Corps in Fort Hood. And Thanksgiving is not a British holiday, so that was, you know, he had some remarks to make about that and his first Thanksgiving, but also he remarked that the rainy, dreary weather made him feel very much at home because it reminded him of London. And so that kind of brought a little bit of joviality to the crowd. But we let the families go first and lay the wreath at their loved one's grave, and then the people who have friends or have just come to volunteer go next. And it doesn't take very long, and we store our wreaths in semi-truck trailers. That's how they get there. And
I wondered where you stored that many wreaths.
yes, the city of Killeen is very nice to allow us some parking space where they park their garbage trucks. And so we have a paved parking lot where we can place our 5 trailers throughout the year.
Wow.
And then we hire semi cabs to move them. We hire drivers to move them out and stage them. And for many years, the motorcycle community has been part of our wreath laying. Many of them are veterans, and they were part of the original Patriot Guard, and they just find it as a moving experience. They help us raise money and awareness, but they do an escort of 1 truck now, and so 1 truck and a lot of motorcycle riders stage up in front of the special
kind of a
event center,
ceremonial thing.
and they escort that truck in, and I try to be at the cemetery early because that is just one of my favorite things is to watch 300 or 400 motorcycles come in escorting the wreath truck.
Oh my goodness. And I'm sure seeing younger generations involved with this means a lot to you.
Well, it does. And they come to wreath prep, and they also come to the laying and the retrieval. My grandchildren have not missed a year yet, and my oldest is 13 and my youngest is about to be 11. And of course, they're part of the family volunteer corps, so they don't have
they got voluntold.
They don't have a huge choice now, but they wouldn't miss it. But they're not the only ones. There are babies in strollers who it's their very first wreath ceremony, and of course they won't remember it, but their families take pictures, and sometimes they're there because they have a personal reason. They're taking pictures at a loved one's grave of their large family gathering or a friend, or maybe they're just there to help out. But we have lots of Boy Scout troops and youth groups and high school ROTCs and National Honor Society and many groups, and we always have someone on hand to sign volunteer papers for people who are getting community service hours
I'm
for
sure
their
they want to get credit
organizations.
for it.
Yes. But it is moving, and it's also one of our purposes is to try to continue to promote remembrance and respect and appreciation and patriotism to that generation.
Teaching is a part of
a
this.
very big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could leave everyone with one thought or a call to action, as we're, of course, you've had the retrieval, you picked them all up because that's another big job.
Right.
But yeah, there's lots of volunteer possibilities for folks. And how can they learn more?
We have a board that works all year long to make the 6 weeks of what we call wreath season happen. We also are participants in a large charity event, a local event called Festival of Trees. That's one of our major funding sources. So we are always looking for sponsors, for volunteers, for help. We work on that. That event is always the first Friday in December, and the minute that it's over, we start after action on how do we make it bigger and better next year. We'll start meeting on it about March. So we could use help there. We'll always take donations, but there are many ways to help. They say many hands makes light work. Everyone is welcome. It's a very inclusive organization. There's room on our board for people who want to be involved with leadership and decision making. Fundraising, always.
Yeah.
There's room in lots of organizations that support us. We get a good bit of support from the local veterans organizations, the American Legions, the VFW, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. So if you're a member of any one of those in any surrounding city, those are good opportunities to participate with us.
Oh, Sid, thank you so much for your leadership, though, in what all you are doing for Wreaths for Vets. Again, the longer name is
Friends of Central Texas State Veterans Cemetery. And we do have a website. It's wreathsforvets.org. And on there is our calendar, usually our schedule of events throughout the year, and opportunities to get involved, to donate, to leave comments, to look at beautiful pictures, drone footage of the ceremony. It's a pretty sight, so go see it.
Well, you obviously have so much support from local volunteers and folks who want to continue to see this beautiful tradition continue with honoring our veterans in this special way.
Well, it is definitely a privilege and a pleasure to be part of it. And thank you so much for helping us spread awareness.
Oh, well, I'm happy to. Thank you again, Sid.